Okay, so I was reading comments, and we're gonna just like, jeez.
Okay,
Well,
hit it.
wait a minute. Okay, so Kevin Harrington. Let me see. Hang on a second. Let me just see if I can fix this. Bad
Okay.
lighting, bad room, and bad everything, but not so bad. So somebody mentioned that Kevin Harrington. He said you were talking about Kevin Harrington. Who is Kevin Harrington?
He was a redheaded roadie of ours, but he was roadie for the Beatles as well. And he's the guy that's holding the paper for John to read the lyrics on top of the
The building in.
the office, the Beatle building. And
Oh, they did the
he
article.
worked for us in Derek and the Dominoes, and most all of our European gigs, and I think in a couple in the United States. But he was a lovely guy.
Okay, so we answered that one. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll move to the next one.
All
So I have
right.
to stop this. Fury and the person who.
I don't know Richie Fury. Never met him. I don't even know what band he was in. I mean, I just don't know. I'm not plugged in, I've never been plugged into who's who.
Well.
I was busy doing what I do.
Oh man.
But Graham
man.
Parsons, when Delaney and Bonnie and Friends was being put together and we was all living in the plantation, well, at least some of us. Thank God Delaney and Bonnie weren't living there, but Graham, we used to rehearse there our band, and running through drummers and all this thing. So, but Graham came over one Sunday afternoon. It was in the summertime. It was just sweltering heat. And he had the white suit on. You see him with the cactus on it and all this stuff. He's looking over his shoulder. Yeah. He came. And I was sitting in there by myself in the kitchen at the plantation. And he said, "What do you think of this?" I said, "Well, I think it's probably a little hot, for that, but it looks good, You look good in the summertime."
So Richie Fury was in Southern Hillman Fury. Okay.
Okay.
So one of those great.
He must have
one
been
of
the
those
Fury
great
out of the Southern Hillman band.
Exactly. Well, anyway, all those guys they were.
He
so
took the Fury out.
They were so.
I knew Chris Hillman because he played for a little while with Stephen Stills when I did the Manassas album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was real friendly too.
Okay. Stop. Are you joking or are you serious?
Well, don't make me lie,
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
I'm serious.
Blame for this whole business about the tribute to George Harrison and the fact that you weren't invited.
Well, Eric was one that could invite whoever he wanted to be on it because he ran the show and he put it together, and I don't know. He didn't invite me, but these other people are trying to play my parts and they just can't do it.
Well, well, wouldn't it then have still had something to do with you being blackballed by? Robert
I'm still blackballed. It's sore. No, that was part of it. I do believe. I don't know. Eric's lovely and well,
I can't
I
imagine
know
not wanting to involve you in
well,
that.
I don't know what that's about.
you don't know.
That was real clear that it was part of being blackballed. Because I didn't play their games, and Eric's manager Robert Stigwood, I didn't play his game. His or anybody else's, and so that's why they put me out there. But they couldn't quite do what I did on All Things Must Pass.
Oh,
You can play my part, but it'll never be right.
can you imagine how great it would have been had you been there? That would have.
Oh, it would have been incredible.
Jeez, that would've been
I would have had pump organ up there and everything, and I'd have
awesome. Oh my
been
God.
killing the B3.
It would have been huge. I mean, it would have been such a.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was really their loss.
Yeah, I'd say.
It was a growing experience for me because I had to overcome any kind of, not jealousy is not the right word.
Hurt?
Yeah, painful. It's real painful. excluded yet one more time because I wouldn't play their game, and so they blackballed me. And
Well, Stigwood blackballed
Robert
you.
Stigwood, and I wouldn't play his game, and I still don't play that kind of game.
He's gone. So anyway, next question. Why does love gotta be so sad? How did that come into play? How did you write that?
I was living at Hurtwood Edge with Eric, and that's his place in Surrey, and we were in the TV room, and we had just really started writing. I think "Why Does Love" was our second song. No, it's the third one because the first song we wrote was "I Looked Away," and then "Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad?" And what else was it?
Was it Any Day?
Yeah, Any Day was one of the
Okay,
things.
I
But
don't
Why
know.
Does Love Gotta Be So Sad? We were in the TV room, and I was sitting by the telephone, and he was right over there. I mean, it's like the small room, and had a big fireplace. That was the biggest thing in the room. You needed it. You didn't have any heat in that place. But we had already done Tell the Truth, and we knew that we had this gift had been presented us, and so we started playing. We were connected, and he started playing A minor to G, and I went, move that down there, and he went, and it just elevated it,
Yeah, I
to
call it up there.
yeah,
Call it down there.
or down there, wherever that is, down there.
Up there.
Yeah, up there. But it just really kicked it all into motion,
Right.
and the song fell out. Like the rest of them we wrote together, they just fell out. Tell the Truth.
So about how long did it take for you to write that, do you think?
About 2 hours.
Wow, that's cool.
From conception, like pouring a drink and getting in there and getting ready, and then like talking about something, and he said, "Why does Love Gotta Be So Sad anyway, Bobby?" I'm like, "Oh wow,"
So that's where it came from.
That's where it came from. He talking about his girlfriends, and he had many. Everybody thinks it might be one or two, but he had it all going on. I think Eric was a safe haven for a lot of people.
Married women?
Married women. You got it.
Okay, next DNA 95, 60. Anyway, you've got it. So you just go ahead and answer the question for him about. It was a very long message, so I can't remember it all. But he was talking about how great the Dominoes were and live at the Fillmore and.
Yeah, all that stuff. Everything that we did was spontaneous. We might have put the start, verse, and chorus, and verse and outro,
Right.
But everything in between all that, from beginning to end, was spontaneous. Just like writing the songs was all spontaneous. It all happened. We didn't have to, scratch our heads and try to figure anything out.
You guys were surely in the flow.
Oh, we were.
You
We
had
were.
this-
We were
you had
connected.
this thing going.
Yeah.
And you were in the flow.
We
You
were in
all
the
set.
flow. Eric and I clicked. We had it, and we didn't have to try.
Right.
I mean, the songwriting teams were Lennon and McCartney, Jagger and Richards, and Clapton and Whitlock. That was it. That's the league.
They never talk about that, but that's the truth. It really was.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah, he hasn't done what we did. He hasn't
Ever
risen
again.
to that level, since. You can't emulate what I did. They might be able to play the parts and their notes, but they can't get the feeling. And you can't do what I did just like that. It takes me to do what I did and to fit in my part. But Eric and I clicked really. It was so natural that we never even thought about it. I was his protege. We were partners. he was a rock star, the rock star god, and I was his protege, and that he said
Well,
that before.
That may be true. However, you were also a great writing team.
Yeah,
You just worked so well together.
yeah, it all clicked perfectly.
I know other people have tried to do that, but it never has worked on
No, no.
that moment in time for the two of you.
We had this natural thing that happened. Well, my whole what I do is natural. I paint, all of that. It's just so close to everything else. It's so close. It is the same medium. I mean, or the same thing, only in a different medium.
Right.
It all happens real natural, and so you don't have to well, they say tell the truth, or let's write a song and call it "Tell the Truth." I mean that doesn't happen. You got to be up a couple, 2 or 3 days, and and then doing all kind of nonsensical stuff, and then this thing you just opened up and you got all the garbage out of your life out of the way, and this thing just flows through.
Right.
The new dawn's breaking, sun was coming up, it was freezing cold. You know, all of those things were real.
Sure.
I'm thinking Otis Redding, tell the truth. Mama, tell the truth. I'm thinking Otis Redding, not copying Otis Redding, but thinking Otis Redding.
Sure.
And wow, it all came together. It all flowed. Bell Bottom Blues, any day, every song that we got together, that when we sat down and wrote these things, it all clicked so quick.
That's the way it's supposed to be when it's
Yeah,
natural like
yeah.
that. When you're not forcing it,
No.
All right, let's go to the next question. The camera like that. Brad Parker said something to you about the fact that you're a great musician, but you've also moved into the art world, and now he's contemplating doing something like that. So, what would you have to say?
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing, only in a different medium. It's no different than singing and playing, writing the songs that paints the picture. Okay, but it's just a different medium. And when I locked on to, well, you know how it happened. I went in the barn and found some canvas, and I told Coco, why don't you paint? She's a brilliant artist. And she said, no, you do that. You need to do that. I always wanted, and I always did see these guys who were painters. They always had the beautiful women laying there naked right in front of them, for hours and hours. I thought, man, that's pretty cool, If I could just get over this musical hump, But no, I did took Coco's advice, and I went. I got 7 colors and a brush and an easel, and I did 2 paintings at the house, which we still have. And after the second one, I just went, this is not for me. And I told Coco, I said, you can do this, sweetheart. I said, I can't do this. I said, I sing and play and write, books or whatever. And autobiography, you can only write that one time.
Exactly.
Take the S off of the books. Or you can write a book. Anyway, I didn't have time to write another book. But I was painting, and it just wasn't working. She said, well, just go ahead and just try one more. Go outside and just...
No, I said, you can't do, it takes more than 2 little tries.
Yeah, well, but anyway, I had only one more canvas. And so I took it outside, and I got to thinking about this thing I read where Keith Richards said that he plugged into this thing, the universe, when he's playing. And I went, wow, that's exactly right. I remember talking to Eric about that. And he said, I get it every now and then, you
We
know,
all do, yeah.
when they play and it's just in that zone. Well, I want to be in that zone all the time. I am with my painting. Soon as I put that together and correlated it with painting, wow, I'm off. And it's just an incredible journey. I've been doing it now for 5 years last May. And it's the most incredible thing that's happened to me.
So
And
try it.
man, yeah, if you feel it and you that in tune to say it, do it, you know.
Well, I think when you're a creative person, it's not always just one thing that you're creative in. You could be creative in not just art, but it could be poetry. It could be,
Well, I do sculpture, you know, I do like woodwork
sculpture.
and
Yeah.
all these things.
You also design jewelry.
Yeah.
So it could be so many other things, and it gives you sort of an escape from just doing the music.
Yeah, just trying to do the one thing. I mean, we're given these incredible gifts with an S. And we think that it's one thing we've been given. You know, we've been offered one tray with many, many gifts on that tray. You know, and all you have to do is to find your one.
Use your imagination.
And you use your imagination, let it go. You know, and you're just like I'm a step in away from the canvas. You know, I'm the. It comes to me. I play, and I'm the brush. You know, I'm the canvas. I'm the painting. I'm the story. I'm all of those things. You know, and I have to back up and allow it to all flow. It's an incredible experience. I don't ever see anything going any other way than the way it's going right now, and I see this real clear.
Go to the next one. Thank you for all the other comments, and especially to Carol, because she is, comments quite a bit on the channel, as do so many other people. But is there anything else you'd like to say, my love, before we leave?
Well, you know, no one can ever stand in your shoes, you know. They might be able to stand in them, but they can't go anywhere in them. you know, you know, shoes.
What in the world are you talking about?
Well,
I think
you're getting all those women.